Welcome to GumGuide. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to turn a dental CAD design alongside our dental render into a clear micro-layering application guide for ceramics, lab communication, and case documentation. Whether you're a ceramist, technician, or still learning, GumGuide reads the gum color from your CAD design or rendered image, matches it to real paint shades, and gives you a clear step-by-step chart to follow at the bench without wasting material or second-guessing color. Before starting with GumGuide, you'll need a clear dental render image of the restoration you want to analyze. GumGuide uses that image to read the gingival colors and create the color chart. You can do this inside our dental render tool. I'll leave a link to the tutorial below. When you open GumGuide, you can create a new project. Each project lives inside a case, so you'll be prompted to either select an existing case or create a new one. If you're working on a real case, it's best to start from a case you already created in DentalRender. That way, your renders, gum color guides, and exports all stay organized in the same patient or lab folder. For the best results, I recommend following the full dental render to GumGuide workflow. You can also find this tutorial linked below. Once you've created a new case, or opened an existing one, you'll land straight in GumGuide. The workflow is built as a simple step-by-step guide. You can move forward when you're ready, or step back any time to adjust something earlier. For step 1, choose your source image. Pick a saved dental render from your library, or select a render already linked to this case. For the best results, use an image with a dark background, even lighting, and minimal glare. If you are creating the image in DentalRender first, use uniform lighting and dark or black background options. This is important because GumGuide reads color from the gum tissue, and consistent lighting gives a more reliable shade guide with equal shadows on both sides. Once your dental render image is selected, click Generate. Generating a GumGuide costs 5 credits. These credits cover the full GumGuide process, including preparing the image, reading the gum colors, and creating the color guide you'll use in the next steps. Next, in step 2, we have to review the matte and mask of the generation before moving forward. This step checks whether the image has been cleaned up correctly. This is important because the quality of the matte and mask affects the accuracy of the final gum guide. We can run the check against the checklist on the right-hand side. First, check the matte itself and see if you're happy with the results. Use the original view to compare against the image you uploaded. The image should look flattened, with most shine and glare removed, and there should not be extra lips, cheeks, tools, retractors, or background details left in the image. Then check the matte and see if the teeth and gums are cleanly separated on a white background. Next, let's check the gum mask. In the mask view, the gum area should be white, while the teeth and background should be black. Here's a clear example of what it should look like and what it shouldn't. Ensuring the mask is correct is very important, as it tells GumGuide where to read the gingival colors from. If it's wrong, you can use the Regenerate button under each checkmark. Alternatively, you can find the Regenerate button directly under the matte or mask viewers. Choose Regenerate Matte if the overall outline, background removal, or gloss flattening needs improvement. Choose Regenerate Mask if the gum area is not being detected correctly. Each regeneration uses 1 credit, so only regenerate when the matte or mask genuinely needs a better result. Every time you regenerate, a new thumbnail is added to the history row. You can click through your previous mattes and masks to see which version works best. Whatever is currently selected on screen in the viewers is the version GumGuide will use for the rest of the workflow. So make sure the best matte and mask are active before you continue. Now, before we move on, we recommend regenerating the matte or mask until you're happy with the result and all 4 checklist items have been ticked off. You can review and check each item individually, and as you become more familiar with what a good result looks like, you'll be able to confidently mark all items as reviewed. Let's press continue to move on to industry colors. Here, choose a preferred brand or paints manufacturer, such as Mio, GC Dental, Ivoclar, or Vita. We are actively updating and adding new brands, so keep an eye out if you don't see yours yet. Or alternatively, email us at support@mydentalaid.com with brands you'd like to see used inside GumGuide. At this stage, GumGuide takes the gum color information from the image and maps it to the closest shades in that brand's catalog. We also use color mixes for a wider spectrum of colors. This means the final guide does not just show generic colors. It gives you named shades that can be matched to products already used at the bench. We should also mention that we are not affiliated with any of the paint brands shown. We simply reference their published shade ranges to help you find the closest match in the system you already use. We've taken careful attention to align each real-world paint with its digital representation, so what you see on screen is as close as possible to the shade on your bench, whether you're matching by eye or by how color reads on a display. This brings us to the next step, the color matching mode. GumGuide gives two previews, Eye Match and Screen Match. Eye Match is based on how color is perceived by the human eye and usually gives the more natural-looking result based on color for physical ceramic work. Screen Match is based on how color appears on a digital display and is another alternative which can provide a more preferred result. Select the preview that best matches how you want to communicate the case. In this case, I like the color range in the Screen Match, so we'll go with this one. In the next step, GumGuide builds the paint by color chart. This is the main working guide. Here you can switch between the matte, swatches, paints, and heat map. The matte shows the glare-reduced render, swatches shows the breakdown of various gum colors, paints shows the gum areas painted with the selected industry shades, and heat map clearly identifies each individual paint color on the chart. On the left, each swatch is linked to a paint color area in the image. Tap a swatch to isolate where that shade appears on the gums. The heat map color is a key reference for the shades used. This is useful for microlayering because it shows exactly where each color will need to be placed in order to achieve a result that replicates the original render you selected. You can also tap View Amount to see how much of the gum each shade covers, shown as a percentage and a proportional bar. That helps you judge layering depth at a glance, which colors carry most of the case and which are finer characterization touches. In the bottom left, you can also include the original image or the swatch breakdown in the final guide. This gives the lab more context when reviewing the exported file. When the guide is ready, you can copy it to your clipboard, share it directly if your browser supports sharing, or download a zip file. Sharing only shares the image visible on your screen, whilst the zip file includes the main guide with paints view, heat map view, plus individual color maps, so each shade can be reviewed separately. Finally, click Save to store the project in the case. That keeps the original image, swatches, paint map, and heat map together for future reference. For now, that's the full GumGuide workflow. Choose a well-lit render or photo, generate the matte and gum mask, select your industry colors, choose Eye Match or Screen Match, then export a paint by color guide for the lab. GumGuide helps turn gum gingival color into a clear, practical reference, so dental ceramists and technicians can see not just the shades, but exactly where each color belongs. We can't wait to see the amazing work you create with GumGuide. We'll see you in the next one.